I'm sure by now everybody has seen the altercation, the fight, the attack, the ambush on Rick Ross and his small entourage out in Canada. People say it was. I'm seeing reports. Rick Ross ambushed by OVO goons in Vancouver. Ain't nothing. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I seriously doubt that those were OVO goons. It's not how goons move. It doesn't look like goon activity. Those were fans. Those were overzealous fans. I don't even know if you could call them overzealous. Those was overzealous fans. That was fan banging. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I think that Rick Ross probably assumed this is Vancouver. It's not Toronto. If I'm not mistaken, this is by guesstimation of mine, because I don't know. This is a fresh thought. I don't have time to research it. But I think Toronto is on the east, towards the east coast of Canada, and I think Vancouver is somewhere towards the west side of Canada. You think of how much distance between the east and west coast exists in America. And I think it gets even wider up there. Pause, protesters, get your ass out of here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome to the nation, y'all. Monster Nation, that is. I'm your tour guide, your host, your president. I'm the king around here. I'm the landlord, the owner, tenant, the janitor. I mops the damn floor. Salute to my staff. They help me keep this jumping off around here. But maybe Ross thought that it wasn't that serious because of the distance that I believe exists in between Toronto and Vancouver. It's like the distance between Miami and Cali, you know what I mean? Or New York and, you get the point I'm trying to make. I say that because I remember the first time I ever met somebody in Vancouver or from Vancouver was I did a show in Seattle, Washington. Where's Seattle, Washington? Right at the top of the West Coast. It was people at the show from the, you heard, it was from Vancouver. It was the first time I had ever heard of Vancouver. It was where I met my brothers. It was a group called Foul Play. My brothers Tommy Gunn and Hooligan, right? And they were from Tacoma, Washington. And yeah, met those guys, sat up all night rapping. And you know what I noticed? Because I did something that I later regretted that night, the night I met the guys. Like, I don't know if I regretted it or not. It was probably for the better, you understand what I'm saying? But I was kind of kicking myself for something. Like, I kind of dubbed us a wild app. It was a crazy. This could have been my first menage, no Nikki, right? This could have been that for me, but I was all hip hopping. You understand what I'm saying? I was chilling with Tommy Gunn and Hooligan and they crew and they was rapping. And Tommy Gunn, they were a group called Foul Play. They rocked with us for a while. Like they was quite affiliated with Boot Camp Click after I met them that night. You know what I'm saying? I really took a liking to those dudes. Years later, Tommy Gunn came back and did some dope things with my baby brother Millie. That's all besides the point. I'm just saying that there's a distance that may have given Rick Ross a false sense of security. You can't do that. This is why we are the Boot Camp Clip. You know what I mean? Like our whole movement was based on militants. Like it wasn't just the uniform. It wasn't just something cool to say to us. You know what I mean? We really, like, the game was the game is a dirty game now. But back then, the game was especially dirty, and it was a lot of street elements. I mean, it's like that now, but I guess it's different. Like the one thing I know is Boot Camp Click stayed away from the politics then and now. You understand? It was niggas who was extorted. While a lot of your biggest artists was getting extorted back then by some of those names that you hear, in these legendary stories and all of that today. And, I was completely unaware to most of that shit for a long time because of the way we moved. Like, we moved like all that other shit ain't have nothing to do with us, because it didn't. Even if it did, we didn't know. It didn't affect us. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. It kind of got messy. You understand? I don't. We done all seen a beat down or two or whatever. But like, I'm sure Ross and his entourage left that fight feeling like they took some sort of a loss. Like it looks like one or two of his peoples got hurt. Like somebody got kind of washed up. You know what I mean? Like caught the Ming Maos. And the Ming Maos is way worse than the Poo Paps. Like they had somebody down giving them the Ming Maos and all of that. And you know what I mean? Like A-Town stomping them and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That was, like they had to pick a nigga up type of energy. You know what I mean? And nah, bruh, like you can't move like that. When you first of all, let me just take this second right here to tell you niggas, I told you that this shit don't never just stay hip hop. As long as they keep it hip hop, you understand what I'm saying? It's what all of the fans and all of the bloggers and all of the non-rappers, you understand what I'm saying? All of the non-rappers, you see, and this is something where I say battle rappers, y'all rappers, but y'all didn't get this. And I don't know why. Because it ain't like it ain't never been no drama in battle rap with niggas where it went beyond the bars. It ain't like that. It ain't like that didn't happen often enough for it to be in the front of somebody's brains. Y'all just think because Kendrick and Drake don't play the role of thugs, or y'all don't think that they got y'all think whatever y'all think about, and they seem like two nice guys, or Kendrick seemed like a nice guy and a good kid, just a good kid in the Mad City, and Drake seemed like he's a square, and whatever it is y'all think about Drake. I mean, which all of those things might be true, but that don't count the entourages. You understand what I'm saying? Like, real talk. I'm a very reasonable man. I mean, yes, I have my my bad side, my unreasonable moments, probably. I'm sure somebody would tell you that. I'm not here to debate that. What the point I'm trying to make is this, like, this Zen Lordian, this patient version of me that y'all get in my blogs. You think all my friends like that? They ain't. Especially the ones you never seen. The ones you seen mean I trust that they're mellow enough not to scare away any big money, or not to wreck the buffet, as they say. You know, it's a whole section of my homies that I don't bring nowhere. You know what I mean? That exists. You know what I mean? And I will tell you this: these dudes. Hold on, before I tell you this, what I was about to tell you, these niggas is things be happening outside the camera. Just because so much of the drama gets blogged about, you know, gets reported on by actual people who do actual reporting. You know, like, so much of it is on Front Street that we think we know everything about it. We don't. We don't. I know personally about beefs. I know personally, I know about things that happen in situations where only half the story is out. The whole story ain't out. Certain parts of it were public, TMZ, World Star, Hip Hop, whoever, you know what I mean? But some things are only known about by the offenders, not even the victims. You understand what I'm saying? When you move militant, and that just is what it is. But aside from that, all of them people trying to break in Drake crib, all of them, somebody getting blamed in front of his crib and all of that. Like I said, that could have been fan blaming. It could have been, because the perception around Drake has changed a lot. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know, we be getting these reports, we be hearing that they not rocking with Drake in Toronto either, right? That's what we hear. Yeah. Don't get caught up in the hype. You know what I'm saying? I think Rick Ross might have got caught up in the hype. You know, it's just, you know, that the hype is that untouchable feeling where everything is going your way. And you know what I'm saying? You feel like you above the law. You feel like you above the rules. You above the code. You above the protocol and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Protocol being safety protocols. You say, I mean, it's boss, right? It's not safe. He should have been up there. I mean, like I said, there's no way. I'm sure they probably assume. I'm sure if Rick Ross had an event in Toronto, if he chose to go, his security probably would have been way deeper. I'm guessing. If not, then he really just think Drake's off, right? I mean, and granted, he may or may not. I'm not here to judge that. We all know what we think about Drake, or what the masses think about Drake. I'm not here to judge that, because what I'm trying to say to you is, it doesn't matter if he's soft or not. When you a certain, you know, you got a certain amount of money, you got people who will do dirty things for you just to be close to the money. You ain't even got to be giving them none. They might not realize that your days, that you not that, like, for instance, it's niggas who think I'm a way bigger celebrity than I actually am. Niggas will try to get close to me or members of my camp, thinking they gonna get on, thinking they going, you understand what I'm saying? They turn into hangers on of niggas from the outer layers of my inner circle, and then they try to play checkers, jump from one person to another person, try to every member of the boot camp has his own set of disciples. And you know what I'm saying, you have the Monster Nation dudes, you got the Bucktown USA dude, you got Tech with the culture pushers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? When Ruck was here, he had his squad, like Ruck down, like, it's people. There are people who come around and they jump from one set to one set to one set to one set to find out where they fit at, and if they fit in, they can stand close to the light. You understand what I'm saying? and hopefully get on, right? And then some of these dudes do quote unquote get on, leave us. You understand what I'm saying? Well, here's the truth. They don't get on. What they do is they get close enough to somebody else and they get on their coattail now. And now they over there acting like they don't rock with Boot Camp Click. So I'm saying that niggas, before they get to that point, they view Boot Camp Click as the light that they want to stand close to. Imagine when you, Drake, granted he's suffering a ridiculous fall from grace right now. People still might not, you standing next to him, you might not see it. He still got money, right? Then Drake made a video, he giggling, all sniggly and giggly. Yeah, I mean, whatever to that. He's snickering and all of that. Like he didn't have nothing. I don't think Drake had anything to do with that. I just think that, Rick Ross, he went and played that Not Like Us song at the end of his show. Yo, I feel like Rick Ross got punched right on the A minor line, I think. Like, cause you hear it in the background, right? And they were standing there arguing with each other, and then the first punch got thrown right. Correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all seen that. You know what I mean? And then I think it was a second altercation where his man snuffed one of the dudes, and it just went crazy. And it seemed like things went bad for Rick Ross and the squad twice in that incident. I don't know. But they got out of there. They got out. Hopefully everybody made it out with only minor injuries or no injuries at all. But this is what I say, what I've been saying from the jump when I was calling all of this beef vegan, when I was torn between them actually stewing this beef up or just leaving this shit alone, because it always, I mean, like, you kind of want it stewed up. I wasn't torn. I knew what I wanted. I was just saying that the beef was vegan because it was all subliminals. It was all subliminals. But I knew I knew the potential for this to turn messy. And all of y'all was like, no, not all of y'all, but y'all know who y'all were. What Drake gonna do? Because it ain't gonna be none of that. It ain't gonna be the Nas and Jay. They went in the blah, 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 and all of that goof troop shit y'all was talking. Like I said, again, you never know what happened behind the scenes. Man, niggas could have been punched and jumped about this all. But anyway, I digress. The boss, Ricky Ross, was out in Vancouver thinking it was all good, thinking it was all sauce. And unfortunately, situations will unfold. You know what I mean? Salute to all parties involved. To the OVO goons, who were not really OVO goons. I heard Willie D say something about this. He was like, some people, they ain't got nothing but pride, right? And, it is what it is. Like, you in their city, it's bad enough you there already, and you end your show. It seemed like he was walking away from the show. You end your set with Not Like Us. Ain't even your song. You just feel like playing it just so you could, you know what I'm saying? Just for the sole purpose of disrespecting Drake. And a lot of those dudes weren't black either. I feel like one, maybe two of them was like a light-skinned black or whatever. Not that the complexion of black. Just the fact that a lot of them wasn't black. So, I know it's a lot of black people in Canada, B. I know that. But I feel like that's a weird reflection on who Drake's fans really are. I saw some dudes blogging. They made up they had I can't think of their names, but they had a whole blog, a whole two white dudes, but they were like, nah, Drake, you're not like them. You're like us. Like and they white. They like, you're like us, Drake. You don't want to know it, but anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 boxing gloves in the is that disrespectful? Let me just get 4 boxing gloves and 4 fists. 4 fists. You don't need not the boxing gloves. They got fists. Put 4 fists. And if you can't find a fist, put 4 boxing gloves. Leave a super thanks if you want to be a tax-paying citizen of the nation. You understand what I'm saying? Or you can leave a Cash App. Cash App, I actually receive more of it if it's a Cash App and all of that. So you can do that. The Cash App tag will be in the description. So will my Bandcamp link for those who would rather hear me rap than to hear me talk. All right? I'm out of here. Rock on, rock on. Ross, militant. No floss. I mean, floss is cool, but you got it. Militant.